Nice work, everyone. Stick around and let's talk about it if you have time. I always do after class coaching, so this is the time for after class coaching. Some people leave, some people stick around. If you have questions or you want to work on anything specific for you, then please, please stick around and let's talk about it. Otherwise, have such a great Saturday. Charlotte, how are you feeling?
That was amazing.
So that pick up that wash rag would train your feet to paddleboard for the rest of your life, right? Give you that grip. Like, think about like, why do I train my glutes? So I can hike mountains, so I can walk for miles, right? Same with your feet. You would want to train your feet with that wash rag lift and that. You know, you could also do dice to get really intricate, right? And that will keep that grip strength for you forever for paddleboarding. So I love it.
Right?
I love it. Okay, so here's the landmark. So this is my foot, okay? Don't think about my thumb. Let's call this the big toe, okay? And this is the pinky toe.
Okay.
The ball of the foot is the pad right there, but it's like the pointy, it's the joint. See that joint right there to the top? It's the exact bottom is what I call the big toe mound. So it is a pointy, it's not like over here on like the more squishy part of it. It's more right there on the joint, right? I'm just balancing right on that joint. And then the same thing for the pinky as well. So you don't, a lot of times I can find myself over here on the pinky edge, and I just remind myself to get right on the joint. And the other one is, here's the big toenail, right underneath the big toenail, just the point in the middle of my finger. Like, you know, where you would get like a finger prick? Go, Max, please. Where you get a finger prick for a blood draw, that's where you want to be pushing down. So the tripod is pushing down, the big toe is pushing down, or it's lifting up into extension.
Okay. Or the thing that I heard you, the stretching of the joint or something like that.
People come into releve, instead of them balancing on these 2 points, they stretch and try to balance in these joints, the toe joints, right? It's like too much stretch. And remember, when we're bouncing our feet, you want to bounce on the ball of the foot, not in this like front of these toe joints where they meet the ball of the foot. I feel like a lot of people hyperextend right here because they don't balance on this part. So yes, when you're lifting, you're still here on releve, you're not here. It's such a small movement, but it makes a huge difference. Well, I call it the lymphatic breath. We use it as a lymphatic breath. You might, there's so many different angles to the breath work, right? Yeah. A lot of people, yoga people, will focus on an exhale more. I focus on the inhale. So here I'm going to leave.
Same thing where it was just through the nose.
There's a great book that you might be interested in that you might be. It's called Breath by, oh my goodness, I will find it and I will put it out there, okay? And he talks about the whole, not through the lymphatic. His whole thing's not lymphatic. But to me, after reading that book, I was like, that's what will stimulate the lymph too, though, right? So that's the reason why I've kind of adjusted it. And now what else I do is I focus more on holding the inhale into the body, right? So and when we breathe, when you do your breath work, right? Your ribs, think about, instead of breathing like this, think about breathing like this, like an accordion. Hold that breath in, let it like just kind of move around just because you're holding it in, and then exhale.
Okay.
So I like to do counts. The highest count is an 8 count hold. You could start with a 4 count hold. So you inhale and then go 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale. Or 2, who cares? Inhale, 2, 1, exhale. You can build up, right? Mm-hmm. Just like bicep curls, I would start out with 8, but eventually I'd go to 12, right? Yeah. All right. Well, I love that. And then